Hey YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look at this, we got the second thoughts on the RV7. Yes, it's raining. It was supposed to not be raining, but we're gonna film anyway because that's what we do here on Brian Phillips RC. We back up our planes into the rain and then we stand in this weird little reprieve of water.
Sort of.
And then we make our poor plane go out in the rain. It's not even really that calm, is it now?
It's not.
Okay, here we go. Take off flaps, 2200, 30C. Beautiful. Anybody who's ever been on a boat ride and it's raining? Man, this thing is like agile. Look at that. You guys would be proud of me. I added a piece of shelf liner. Okay, hold on. So something about rain I've learned over the years is that it can either bring really windy weather or it can bring really calm weather. And actually this is calmer than it was pretty much all day. Man, this RV7 is like nuts fast.
It's crazy.
So we're just kind of hanging out on our deck here. This is where we filmed our Trekker video the other day during the tornado or whatever it was.
It was a tornado, not here.
Well, we didn't have a tornado here.
Close
yeah, that's
here.
true. It was close. Turns out that was a pretty nasty storm. Hit some friend's house. I feel like something's not quite right. What's going on? That's so cool. This plane is super capable, but man, it started raining hard. So for those of you who have ever flown a float plane, you'll know exactly what I'm worried about hearing next, which is a big electronic motor fart.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yep, because that's what happens when you get too much water in the motor. And the stator bridges contact between the... Oh, jeez. Now it's like, it's raining hard now. Oh my goodness. Let's just do it anyway. Whatever. It was kind of dusty from sitting in our basement, so let's just do a little conservative flight here in the downpour. So for those of you that don't fly with stabilizers, you may not realize just the absolute joy it is to know that you've got a whole team flying with you. And it just still baffles me that this is the Van's basically home-built plane, as I understand it, experimental. Meaning that you just like order the kit and then you build it. And they're supposed to be an extremely capable plane, like legit. I don't know if it's this capable, but that'd be pretty amazing if it was. Oh, I gotta see if I can get into these low-level clouds. Okay, let's just try. Let's try this one. It always looks like it's close, but it's really not. And by the way, we're gonna respect our limits for the 399 feet or whatever.
Yes.
See? You never know when some paraglider's not gonna come out.
Maybe not your best timing on paragliding.
Yeah, it would be bad if you were flying right now. That thing is way up there.
Yes,
I mean, exactly 399 feet. Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool looking up there, though.
It's kind of a little teeny dot.
I agree. Okay, so my gal is calling out some time on me. And I gotta say, folks, with all the stock issues, this plane is in stock. When we were filming, I don't know when you're watching, but we've been trying our best on our second thoughts to not just taunt you if something is out of stock. We try not to publish it. And then the other day, we just did a video and immediately out of stock. And it's so frustrating because I know you guys want to buy some of these planes. And I don't want you to get the wrong idea like we're trying to frustrate you and your ability to purchase what's in or out of stock. Now, after that little cloud goes through, my guess is we're going to end up with a situation where it calms down quite a bit or it gets insane. I'm sure there's going to be some really, really concerned do-gooders that have some select words for us after we fly this flight. Okay, so we're still at 13.8 volts. Goodness gracious, folks. And when I say the do-gooders, I mean the people that are like, don't fly in thunderstorms, Brian.
There's no thunder.
It's not,
okay.
It's not a good example. And I'm like, yes, I tend to agree that most people are not going to typically fly in rain and terrible weather. But, you know, here on Brian Phillips RC, we do what Mother Nature gives us. Ooh, that's critically low. Probably should get conservative and maybe land this like right now. What do you think?
Probably, just given the...
Well, that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
I want to see if I can thrust reverse back onto the runway though. Oh yeah, buddy. So guys, so many different reasons why you want thrust reverse, and usually it's not because you just landed in a mud hole, but it could be. That sometimes is the reason. And I'm kind of doing a little jog back and forth here. Just kind of get those wheels cleaned off. It's one of the joys, one of the many joys of RC is back taxing your beautiful home-built experimental aircraft so that you don't have to go out in the rain.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's pretty awesome, actually. I'm so tempted to go up again, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, so what have we learned? This plane is super cool. And by the way, for the record, for those of you do-gooders that are concerned about the rain, I too was a little bit concerned about the rain. That's why we got out of it and came into here where we're not getting rained on. But the plane's getting rained on, and it seems to be doing just fine. You know, that's one of the advantages of coffee cup planes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, foamies. Foamies. Let's see if it's clean. Yeah, it looks pretty stinking good. Throttle cut is on, by the way. Man, I just can't believe how rock solid this thing is.
I know.
It's just...
It's windy.
I know, it's not a little bit. That is so cool. All the marks from the rain. So cool. Wonder if the motor's even wet. No, it's warm, so it's dry. And look where the motor is. It's just behind this. So if you reach in there, the rain would have to make a turn, which I'm sure probably a little bit of it did. Let's see how dry it is in here.
Totally.
Totally dry. Totally dry, it's perfect. So if I were to undo this, you would see the shelf liner. We added that and just worked out really fantastic. Guys, there's nothing about flying in less than perfect weather. I mean, there's something about it that's kind of cool, because here in a minute, there'll be the calm after the storm. And I've always thought it was really fun to fly during the periods before and after rain. if you can get them, especially when you had terrible weather for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And I think we had a reprieve, one reprieve, and that was that yesterday?
Yesterday.
It was yesterday. Gosh, I'm losing the days. But yesterday we were able to film 2 videos and 2 flights. And it's just like, it's probably been 2 weeks since the last time we were able to fly.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to take advantage of the opportunities if you can. But look at the windsock. We got wind in every, look, updrafts. Look at that sock. It's going up, it's going down, it's going toward us, it's going away from us. You know, that's just, I feel like if you don't take advantage of the short windows you get, then you won't be able to fly near as much. And so if you have an opportunity to fly, get out there and fly. And by the way, if you have an opportunity to buy an RV7, you don't already have one, check the link in the video description below. I feel bad. This Second Thought's probably like not a great representation of this plane, other than the fact that it's super capable. We legit thought we were gonna get a nice little reprieve before the storm, but I guess not. Sounds like it's slowing down. Well, either way, what we're gonna do is we'll probably just go ahead and set it aside, and if it calms down, we'll get another flight in here. But for now, if you guys wanna help support the channel, easiest way you can do it is buy the planes that we review. If you don't like the planes that we're reviewing in this video, we have tons more down below, and then also at brianphillipsrc.com, not to be confused with www.youtube.com/brianphillipsrc, which is where you are. But we're gonna point you there, and then that's gonna point you back here. So at the end of the day, we just want you to watch the videos. Please like and subscribe. We love bringing you guys long format videos so we can help you figure out how to program this or something similar to it, which is probably one of the most expensive tools that you're gonna have in the hobby. And we want you to get the absolute most out of every RC dollar you spend. And this is a pretty cool plane. It's fun, it's small, easy to transport, very robust, super sturdy. It just, the shape of it is just so simple. It just goes through doorways easy. It gets into the car easy. I mean, there's just not a lot that's bad about it. Now, if you don't like the way that it flew today, it's capable, it's powerful, it lands easy, and I'm talking like it's crappy out there. So when it's dead calm, I still haven't seen it fly in dead calm.
I know.
I want to see it in dead calm because this thing is going to be a rocket ship.
Yeah.
So obviously near unlimited vertical and, you know, 2200 4S does the trick. I love the fact that there is a white tail light, guys. I used to always do white tail lights when I was doing LED mods. And then look, forward-facing lights too. I mean, it's like literally the marquee Brian Phillips RC LED setup. I mean, that's the way I would set it up. Forward-facing LEDs. So you've got 2 or 3 points of reference when flying. And then when you're coming in on final, you can see the lights so you can get lined up with the runway, even in lower lighting conditions, which incidentally, I don't think about it much because we don't go out of our way to fly in bad weather. But when it's rainy and stuff like this, it does help a lot. The visibility was super good.
It was good.
And by the way, LED technology, I mean, these are almost blindingly bright, which is great.
Yep.
We were not getting bright lights like that before. And look how tight that package is. Look how small it is. That is so nice. It used to be that they were all big and kind of clunky, and then you'd have this like super directional light. You know, it'd always be facing like there. So it'd be like, you're coming in on final and like, is there even an LED on there? Oh yeah, there it is when it flies by, instead of pointing forward. So that's pretty cool. And I do appreciate that these things are getting to be much brighter. Look how bright that green is. Red's usually a little bit less intense. So anyway, if you guys like this Vans RV7, check it out. Link in the video description below. And then also, if you guys are navigating Brian Phillips RC, take it easy on us. We're still working on it. It is a huge work in progress. It's probably not up to date, even if you're watching this like in a year, because it always seems like there's something to add or subtract or change or update. And Megan, my camera crew, if you haven't connected the dots, is my beautiful wife, and she takes care of all that stuff. So she is really good, and she takes that off my plate, which is really nice because I'm out doing my day job during the day, and then she spends she spends a ton of time behind the scenes getting things set up so that all this content can be delivered right to you guys. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. So much more to come. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. Look at this. Second thoughts on the RV7. We have light wind. It's a freaking miracle. It's been like Hurricane Central and we're gonna go ahead and get started right away. 2200 4S, 30C in this. We have telemetry with pack voltage, but we do have a 5-minute timer set. We'll probably disrespect the heck out of that elevator. Everything's working, take off flaps. And of course, we've got a little bit of thrust reverse if we decide we can back taxi out. The wind has been a little bit sort of confused this morning, but it's still light enough we can fly. Okay, here goes nothing. Try to do a nice scale takeoff. Oh yeah, out of the flaps. That was about 25% power there, guys, just so you can see. LEDs are bright enough to be seen in the bright sun. And then right into the cornhole. Didn't even complete a whole cornhole. Take off flaps. This thing can be flown in a very tight space. Full landing flaps, here we go. Tons of power, plus tons of performance, plus lightweight. Means you can fly this thing in a super tight area. Just keep your nose pointed down. Takeoff flap seems to do a little bit better with the tight figure eights. Okay, now let's just show them the unlimited vertical. Okay. Do you guys hear that hiccup? There is a spot where the braking, okay, cornhole, and safe. I want to see if I can flat spin this. Yeah, I need to get a little bit better speed. Whip it into a flat spin. Come on now. Come on, you can do it. Oh, it doesn't like it there. I gotta try again. I'm gonna try the other direction. We'll see if we get a little better performance there. Dang it. We're gonna try again. Guys, if you don't get it at first, keep trying until you do. I just feel like there's maybe not quite enough authority to get it to work, or I'm doing it wrong, which is totally possible. Over the Eagle killing zone, takeoff flaps, landing flaps coming in. 20% throttle, keep that thing spinning. So this plane will do pretty much anything you want it to, and it'll make you comfortable doing it. So just remember, when you fly this and then you go to another plane, you have to be a little bit careful, because you're gonna think you can get away with the same things you could get away with the RV7. And by the way, this thing is so powerful. I'm at like 20% throttle right now, doing all these low maneuvers in somewhat gusty wind. Let's call it 5 to 10 mile an hour wind. So it's nothing crazy, but there's definitely consequence, and this plane will do it. Let's see if the bull's okay. It might be a little bit mixy down here, I'm thinking. Guys, love the LEDs. The red is super bright. It is daytime. Let's go over the trees here. So going over the backyard here. Look at those birds up there. Holy crap. Do you see them? There's tons of them up there.
Oh, yeah. You're never going to see that on camera.
You won't?
I don't think so.
How far are they up there, do you
I
suppose?
don't know.
Probably 399 feet.
Probably.
What are they doing up
I
there?
don't know.
They're not
It's like
thermaling.
chilling.
They're way up there.
Oh, you can see them.
Isn't that weird? That's 399 feet, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you guys get way up there, like 399 and a half feet, what is the deal with these birds? They're way, way, way above me there.
Yeah.
Man, there's a ton of them. There's 2 clumps of them. I wonder what type of bird it is.
They're like those white, like seagull looking things.
Oh, I bet that's it. But they're so high up, like at least 399 3/4 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got some calm finally. So if you haven't experienced the RV7, folks, it is just a really well-rounded plane. it flies, reminds me the way it flies, kind of, I liken it to the Timber Evo because it's so powerful and it will just do exactly what you tell it to do, even if it's completely unrealistically like powerful. And I do have one complaint on it, and I don't know if it's something I've done wrong on my elevator configuration, but I have almost full elevator trim and I still have a little bit of nose up under throttle. I'm not sure if you guys have run into that, what you've done to correct it. Maybe it's something to do with where I've set my CG up. But what I can say is a lot of the flying style that I do is real low. Take off flaps now. That was clean, that last pass. A lot of the flying we do is to try to keep low because I like flying low. And also for camera work, camera crew going in between. Because we want to be able to make it so that you guys can see what we're actually filming. And we hope that you guys appreciate that. The camera crew, best in the industry here with me. It's also my wonderful wife, which most of you guys have been following the channel already know that. But if you're new to the channel, the camera crew is Megan, my wife. And she does a really, really good job of filming aircraft. It is way harder than it looks. I can't do it. And so let's talk about the Smart Pack. We have been really happy with the Smart Packs. They've been reliable in general. I think the only ones that we've ever really had any puffing on have all been 4,000 milliamp hour. I don't know why that is. And they've been 4,000 milliamp hour that have gone into EDF jets. Let's go about 4 steps toward the center of the drive there, cam crew. Perfect. See if we can motorboat around even slower. Really got to be Johnny on the spot with your throttle when you get that close to the edge. Now, does this fly better or worse than the T28? That was a terrible touch and go. Goodness gracious. I like the way the T28 flies about, I would say that it's by a factor of 3 better than this. It's that big of a difference. That means this flies like a warbird, but it's general aviation. It's very understable in its responsiveness. Now you can change that a little bit with Expo, but I just feel like the T28 is like, it's like butter all the time. I like the retracts, but I like that this doesn't need retracts and it's still scale. That's very cool. Okay, critically low alarm just went off. I love that this has thrust reverse. I love the colors. Very good visibility, very nice LEDs. That's one thing this has over the T28, and that is LEDs, okay? I want a greasy landing. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna do it. I know how to do it, I just have to do it. And I think part of it is that some planes I try to land everything with flaps because I want to slow it down, but it's like, you know what? Maybe you just don't need flaps on that particular landing sequence. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Okay, guys, not sure if you're aware of what just happened there. I flipped my thrust reverse and I only did 1 click on the switch, and I needed to do 2 clicks on the switch. So that was pretty exciting. And I just about hit the pole there. Let's slip a little bit on the way in too. See the slip? Man, it just wants to go. Camera crew, can you go about to the next crack over? There you go, perfect. Keep going, keep going. Perfect, good job. Okay, I'm gonna try a less steep approach, a little bit of throttle to make it through the turn. So, what have we learned from The RV7 second thoughts, camera crew.
Your thrust reverse needs to be in both positions.
It needs to be not just here, but here and here. Except not really, I just need to pull it all the way, right? What do we have it on the other planes?
See, we do it differently on prop planes than on EDFs.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of thrust reverse on prop planes. We do it on prop planes because it's a feature that you guys want. And to be honest, like the T28 doesn't need it, but I love it. It's still super fun and you can land like in a postage stamp. Same thing with this, but I think what's going on is the wind is just kicking up and it's just making the thing want to keep flying. By the way, let's look at our voltages. Yeah. You're gonna have a hard time seeing with the sun. 13.6 volts. Looks like we got a little bit more power. Let's keep flying. So yeah, what else have we learned?
I think it's a cool plane.
Landing gear are noisy. Reminds me of the landing gear on the Cirrus SR22T.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're noisy like that. Mm-hmm. We need to come up with a solution. And to be honest, I almost feel like some pneumatic tires would be in order. Because this plane has that like jerk you onto exact alignment of the wheel instead of like the direction the plane's going. And I think that could be corrected. But you see my crosswind approach, see how it wants to correct it. So I think on a pavement driveway or runway rather, you're gonna run into that. Whereas on like a geotextile, like Ryan flies off a geotextile runway. A lot of clubs have geotextile, which by the way, we did look at geotextile when we built this house. And that stuff is expensive, holy cow. Like, I think they wanted like 2,000 bucks for a roll of it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Whoa, what a terrible landing and a prop strike, no less. Let's check the prop. Right there. Okay, throttle cuts on. Oh man, that's embarrassing. Okay, let's see if it flies still. That's what you don't do in a full-scale aircraft. But yeah, you hear what I'm talking about though.
Yeah.
So second thoughts on the RV7 is that, well, let's try grass ops real quick, just because we can. Full up, oh yeah. Get her moving. Get her moving. There you go. Oh, by the way, I'm at critically low alarm. You see it pulsing?
Yeah.
That's okay. Doesn't mean we can't land it. 5% throttle, keep that prop spinning for tractoring. I love how we got the monkey birds. Okay, that guy's low. 3-point landing and thrust reverse. I want to check the manned aircraft quick. Oh, he's right there.
Yeah.
Show the people. Manned aircraft. He's in a Mooney, it looks like. I think it's a Mooney, but it looks like it's got retracts. That's weird. Okay, maybe it's not a Mooney. I take it back. Okay, so throttle cuts off. Well, that was a pretty good takeoff.
I thought we were critically low.
Well, evidently not critically enough to stop me from flying. That's so irresponsible, Brian. Sorry, it is not. I wonder if you could take off backwards. Just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, full landing flaps. Full landing flaps. That was a pretty good takeoff for landing flaps.
See, now you did it.
So you think I can get one more? All right, we're going for one more. The camera crew gives me the glare. So we're going for one more. Takeoff flaps this time. You'll notice I traded airspeed for throttle, or not airspeed, traded altitude. Okay, we got just takeoff flaps. Okay, landing flaps now. And flare for a 3-wheel. There it is, guys. Okay, how many more do you think we can get? So one thing I like about this Vans RV7 is its resiliency. I did just have that prop strike there, and that was an unfortunate bad pilot mistake. Flying right now is not really a bad pilot mistake, but it just shows you how efficiently this thing flies. I mean, 4S is a powerful platform for a small plane like this, really. And honestly, this is probably the calmest we've ever had it for this plane.
Yes.
Okay, takeoff flaps only. Let's do a no flap takeoff. Okay, out of the throttle. Takeoff flaps now. I'm gonna have to really be conservative here. Rudder it over. A little bit of throttle, just a kiss of throttle to make the turn. A little bit of slip, full landing flaps. I just can't believe how efficient this thing flies. It's kind of incredible. And it sure looks really, really good. Mm-hmm. And yes, we are looking forward to the Cirrus SR22T. We had the Cirrus in the blue and silver and white. And we're looking forward to the V2 as soon as they can get them in. But in the meantime, we were just kind of reevaluate this one because I realized that when we did it, it was cold and crappy. And it was one of those where, oh, that's right, our batteries are low. It was one of those where we just could barely feel our hands and stuff. See what I'm talking about? What a terrible landing. And yet it lives to see another day. Okay, no flaps. I don't think I can probably even taxi it back. Oh, we're stuck. Okay, throttle cuts on. It's giving us a real warning now. It just keeps going. So if you guys are in the market for a general aviation plane, that would be like a performance general aviation plane, this one's definitely gonna be, like, if you put this up, let's check for damage elsewhere. No damage here, no damage here. Just a little bit of damage on the tip. Looks like I could probably just take and sand that off with sandpaper and we'd be good. Mm-hmm. Check it for balance real quick. Let's double check we don't have any weird tendencies. It probably won't even run now. That's in reverse. It's like, leave me alone. Throttle cuts on. Okay, so positives. RV7, absolute beauty. Guys, I don't know if you can see the shadow. You see the shadow? Look at all the rivets. That is so cool. So many amazing details. The lights look great. Obviously the prop has a beautiful finish on it before I hit it on the ground. Really big hatch for batteries. But you can see where I'm flying it. I just feel like this plane does everything. AR631 in there with the Avian ESC gives you all the performance, all the features you really want. Obviously, that's the biggest one right there. I don't know if you can even see that. Pack voltage. Can you see it? Okay. And by the way, full disclosure, I have polarized lenses on because I like flying with polarized lenses. These are just like cheap gas station glasses. But I have never had a problem seeing this screen the whole time we've flown, even when we're flying at like minus 30 degrees, which yes, we do because we're insane. But it does give our camera trouble with exposure. That's why we picked the colors we picked, but we've had a few you guys suggest maybe we switch to another color scheme. I don't know, we tried sometime.
And we haven't tried it now that I have a new camera.
Megan's new camera is way better. We've got the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Yep. And that's how we're doing the 4K footage. So the other thing too that's just absolutely gorgeous on this plane, and we don't talk about it a lot, is that canopy is just really nice. We've had a lot of canopies and you can sort of see some distortion through it and everything. Like, are you gonna FPV through that? And I probably wouldn't. But the thing is, like, it's really pretty, okay? It's probably about as close as you can get without being glass. I love that you can see through it, and I love that they painted this and it looks right. I also love that there's room to put a second pilot if you decide to do it with a side-by-side plane like this. That's really cool. And I love that they picked a Pilot that looks appropriate. I mean, his hat's a little bit dorky, but I can live with that. It looks almost like a fireman's hat, but I'm good with it. It's better than the reverse Pinocchio in the Cirrus. I hope they did a different Pilot in this new one.
I'm gonna laugh.
That'd be awesome. If it's the same guy with no nose. Yeah. So anyway, well, and there's an interior light in there, no less. So I love this plane for just getting up there and just throwing it around like crazy. But if I had to pick between this and the 1.3 meter Cherokee, even with the features, guess what I would pick? The 1.3 meter Cherokee. Why? Because it flies like a general aviation plane. Now, if you put a 3S pack in this, you're gonna have to fly it more. I think on 2200 4S, this thing is just like crazy amounts of power. Like you can do no wrong. I like the way the T28 flies a lot better also. Now, does that mean that this flies bad? No, not at all. It's a preference thing here, and that's why I'm trying to preface this. I like this plane. I like the features. I like the looks. I wouldn't have said that I was a big fan of an RV7 before this. I would have said that I was a big fan of the T28 before this. So you have to take that within consideration. Also, everything that they've done on this plane, I think they've done a good job of. So the issues I have are preference between this and that. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't buy this plane? No, it just depends on what you want to do with it. Is this better or worse than the Timber? I think the Timber is an every hangar kind of plane. Everybody needs a Timber at one point because they are an amazing experience. I am still waiting for a 3 meter or a 2.5 or 2.1 or whatever Carbon Z Timber, because that's what we really need in our lives. But right now, until we get that, this plane is really cool. But again, this against the Timber, I'd go Timber. Why? Because Timber is going to do more for you. Now, if you have a small plane, or excuse me, a small car, and you're transporting your planes, this is a great choice because it is small. Look how short it is. Look how long it is. It's not that long. It's not that short. So also look at the height of the tail feathers. The horizontal and vertical stabilizers are small. So that means that you can stick this probably between your back seat, and you should be able to get that in there and just leave the tail sticking up if you have a 4-door sedan. Now, if you have an SUV, you're gonna have no problems getting this in. If you got a truck, you'll have no problems getting it in the back. But I found that in a truck, the bed of the truck is like one of the worst places because everything wants to roll around. So you have to, I've used bean bags. Bean bags work really nice. You get the cheapest, crappiest ones you can get. You unzip the bag, you let the beans into the environment, like half of them, then you close the bag up, and then these things will go in there and you can sit another bean bag on top and you can put another plane on top and they never damage each other, which is really cool. So that would be where this RV7 is gonna shine. And yes, this is an everyday flyer, okay? This is one you're gonna fly every day. And the beauty, look, you saw my landings and look the damage. I mean, that's like nothing. It's like nothing, guys. Those are terrible landings. So, but look how many we got. It was way past where we were supposed to fly to. So Smart Packs have been really good to us so far. And you know, if you aren't satisfied with 10 to 15 minutes of flight time on one battery, you know, that's like about as good as it gets on these aircraft. So with that being said, would I pick this or the T28? T28. Would I pick this or the Cherokee? I'd pick the Cherokee. Would I pick this or the Timber? I'd pick the Timber. Quite the sales pitch for the RV7, isn't it?
Way to go.
But I mean, this plane is awesome. It's just like, I happen to like those ones better. So now you have it. And for those of you who want the RV7, I think you're going to be very happy with it. Also, build on this thing was what, like 6 minutes?
Super easy.
Look how many screws we got. We got 4 screws there. We got 2 screws back there.
Yep.
And then 4 screws for the landing gear and a little plastic thing. Super easy build. It'll take you just a few minutes. And I don't even think we had to feed wires through, did we?
I see.
It's been so long because this was a winter build. And nope, we don't have to because the wings, oh wait, maybe we did have to plug those things in.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That would have been, that'd be easy.
So anyway, guys, if you want a plane that's gonna be an everyday flyer, thrust reverse capable, smart capable, firecracker, you can do whatever you want with it. This is gonna be the plane for you. Obviously, probably not a first time plane. I would not get this if it is your first plane. It's gonna be harder than you want to fly. If you're trying to put yourself into a performance plane as a beginner, do the Timber 1.5, not the Timber Extreme, not the Night Timber, not the whatever. Just get the regular Timber Evo 1.5. You're gonna be better off with that than this. And you'll still get the thrust reverse, you're still gonna get the flaps, you're still gonna get the LED package, okay? So dollars for dollars, you're gonna be happier with that and you're gonna have a better chance at success. Plus the landing gear way, way more forgiving. This thing, I mean, I have a hard time greasing the thing in. So, and that's probably honestly one of my issues with this. So it's kind of funny because the Cirrus SR22T that's gonna be coming out here pretty quick, again, that got discontinued and people are like, what the heck happened? Well, what happened is the receivers ran out. The AR626A and 626B that they had replaced it with, they were gone. So they didn't have anything they could put in. So they were like, well, they're due for a revamp, so we're gonna go ahead and revamp it with the new smart technology. So, and the other thing too is I know you guys are thinking, the smart technology just adds a bunch of cost. Okay, so be it. They were already adding cost. Sorry, that's the way it was. You may not be aware of that, but when the AR626 components became unavailable during the chip shortage, like they stopped making them. They were gone. So the stabilizer circuit was gone. They couldn't do it. The AS3X chip, gone. So it's not like Horizon was like, hey, let's try to screw over our people. You know, let's try to extract more money out of them. That's, I mean, obviously they're trying to get money out of you because that's what businesses do. But the thing is, what happened was the chips became unavailable. And so their hand was forced. Now they had lots of them in stock, just like all the other people that use chips all day. And so they consume those, and as they discontinue planes, then they're re-releasing the best ones, which is good because, you know, I love the thrust reverse. I love the pack telemetry. I love having that with just one plug, you know, one plug. And the bind and flies have been amazing to put together. They've been so much easier and so much more solid. And the higher density foam has been great. I mean, like, I can definitely say this, the 1.3 meter Cherokee, which is like older vintage, I don't think it would have held up as good to those rough landings. I think we probably broke something. So, but it's a tricycle, different configuration. And also, interesting note, this is a tail dragger, and the two that I like better were nose gear. They were tricycles. So maybe that's a factor I haven't really given credit for. And honestly, I like flying the Cirrus better too, because it's a tricycle. Maybe I just like tricycles better. So either way, guys, I think it's a great plane, and I think you're gonna like it if you want it. And if you don't like this, buy one of the other ones I recommend. But either way, we appreciate you here. Throw us a like if you liked the video. Don't forget to check the links in the video description below. You buy the plane, we'll get small commissions from the companies we work with. You don't have to pay any extra. And then we have Patreon and PayPal if you don't or can't want to do that. Also check out brianphillipsrc.com. That's our new website camera crew's been working on. We really appreciate you guys checking that out. It's gonna help us to kind of see what you're most interested in, and we can devote a little bit more of our attention to those things, which is nice because we really wanna just bring you guys what you like the best. And I think the long format is one of the things that you guys repeatedly tell us you want, because like our peers within the YouTube kind of area, sphere, don't do a lot of long format videos. They do time lapse or they don't do anything on the builds. And so we try to bring that to you so we can distinguish ourselves from some of the other guys. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. So much more to come here on Brian Phillips RC.